My goodness, man.
Well, the truth is, we all have to deal with overflows, whether we are new or old drivers. And sometimes overflows are stressing. Well, let me take that back. Not sometimes, but all the times overflows are stressing when it is not organized and the space is limited. So today, what we're going to be talking about is how to organize your overflows. So a comment was made that I should explain how I organize my overflows, where I use the paper, and if it would be a different approach since a step van is bigger than the regular cargo van. Both of these concerns will be addressed, so make sure you watch the video to the end. So of course, the first thing you have to do is you have to make sure that you're signed in. So if your package is already before you go inside the station, you can see exactly the order of it on the app. So there's two situations. Sometimes you will get your route before you go inside of the station, and sometimes you'll just get it when you're already inside of the station. So it actually came up when I was heading to my staging area. But if there's a case where you're at your staging area and you still didn't get your route, then you would have to pre-organize your packages. So the first thing you want to do is look on the app and go to the cart with your overflows. If you look on the driver aid number, which is the A173E number, you should only write the last two characters once. So even though I have 3E twice, I'm only writing it once because those two packages are connected to one bag. Oh, and overflows are just basically packages, mostly large boxes that cannot fit inside a bag, whether it is too large or too heavy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue writing all my last two characters until I'm finished. The next one is 2E, then I have 1E, then 2G, then 1G, then I have 3D, 2D, then 1D, and then I write 3C, and then I go over here, 3B. After writing your order, you want to check your first 3 or maybe 4 bags driver aid number to make sure it matches with the order that you have for your overflows.
And then I have 3E. Yes, so it's in order. So this is 3E. This is 2E. Yep.
The reason why you want to check is if you have 2 carts with overflows, the cart with bags on it might be your last set of stops and you might have them as your first. So if you check your bags driver aid number, it will let you know where your overflow will actually start. So for example, cart GPE has 5 bags and 11 overflows, and cart ONK has 18 overflows. The overflows on cart GPE might be your last set of overflows, but they will show up on the app before your overflows on cart ONK. So even if I write 1D, 2C, 1G, 1E, and 1C before I write 3E, 3C, 3G, 2G, and so on, checking the bag will tell me which is my first set of overflows. So if I check the bag, I might see the driver aid number. The last 2 characters might be 3E, 3C, and 3G, and so on. So once I see that, I know that's going to be my first set of overflows that I'm going to load, which means that should be at the front. And of course, I want to follow that order. And then I have 2E. So again, remember that my first set of stuff is 3E, 2E, 1E, 2G. So I have 3E, 2E, and 1E, and 1E. So my first set of stops, right? And then, of course, 2G. So all my 2G is going to be over there. 2G, then 1G. And then 3D, very good. So 3D, then 2D, then 1D, and then 3Cs. All right, so everything is already organized. So of course, I know there is way more cargo van than step van driver. So to address the second question on the comment, no, it would not be a different approach. What would work best for you is you would put your first set of overflows, which would be 3E, 2E, 1G, 1E, I should say, then 2G on the shelf at the door, starting with 3E at the door and the rest behind 3E. So you would want to pack as much overflows on that shelf, and then let's say you have 3E, 2E, and 1E on the shelf, then you would pack 2G, 1G, 3D, and 2D below the shelf. Then you pack 2D, 1D, 3D, and 2D below the shelf if all those will hold. The reason for this is because when you finish your first set of overflows on the shelf, you can either lift the shelf for more space or pack whichever overflows you want to pack on it. But I normally just lift it up and continue for the sake of time. And then your last set of overflows at the back of the van, because of course you're not going to need that anytime soon. If I have a lot of overflows, I do not fill the shelf behind the driver's seat with bags. So what that means, I leave a space at the back so I could put few overflows there, and then I would also leave a space below that shelf so I have enough space at the back of the van for the big overflows. And it always worked for me. So if you have way too much overflow as a cargo driver, you can just let your DSP know that, hey, I don't have enough space, so could you just, work out something? And if they have someone doing rescue, then they will assign those extra overflow to those drivers. So it doesn't make sense you try to fit all the overflows and all the bags if you have way more than your van capacity. Just make sure that you let your DSP know that it can't fit, and then you just take it from there.
Man, hey, we at ground too. We at Amazon right now. Amazon, man. We getting the bag.
No expletives.
No bad language. The bag. No bad language.
Yeah, no bad language.
Okay. We don't mess with Amazon, man. Y'all overworking us. Y'all need to pay us way entirely more. He gonna edit the cussing out. But man, Keviante Creighton, CEO of El Patron Kennels, man. We getting the bag and the check, man. Kennels, dogs, XLs, standard XLs, whatever you need, man. Tap in El Patron Kennels, man. LLC_. Give me a follow. Appreciate that, my boy.
No problem.
You be safe, man.